Welcome back, everybody. We're at Parkin by Radisson, and today's show is all about getting to understand how different couples have made it work for them. And the couple I'm about to interview right now have been married for almost 5 years and are new parents. So it's a different and interesting twist from the couple we had in the last segment. Welcome to the show, Eric and Nzilani Mulati. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Someone's in a very giddy mood. She might just laugh the whole show, but like you were saying before, it's really it's in your character to just laugh.
Yes.
It's okay if you want to just, if you just want to burst out laughing, we're all here for it.
Yeah.
I have to start off by asking what you guys are doing for Valentine's Day now that it's Valentine's. So what are you guys doing?
Okay, so for us, Valentine's, it's okay to celebrate Valentine's.
Yeah.
Though for us, even before we got married, we made an agreement to consistently love each other every single day.
Yeah.
So on top of celebrating Valentine's, for us as a couple, we express and be gentle and love each other every single day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's so interesting what he's saying, because for us, one of the things we've learned over the years and has just been together is that Valentine's is not a day, because sometimes we just give it so much hype, and then what happens to the rest of the years,
Right.
the rest of the months, the rest of the days. So what we've done, and of course he's been amazing in leading us in that, is just being intentional to love each other and just do those acts of kindness every other time.
Right.
Not just waiting for Valentine's or February, but every time just understanding and knowing that you're a gift from above, and just enjoying the marriage and having those random surprises and just giving each other love. And so
I hear you and agree 100%.
Yeah, and so we have a term for it. We call it otherness. So every so often, every moment, we try not to think about self, but more importantly, I think about what can I do for her, what are her needs, physical needs, emotional needs, and I try meet her needs, and it works for us.
So tell me, how did you two meet? Tell me your love story. How did you come into each other's paths?
Okay, so we actually met in church. So we were serving in the same ministry, a discipleship ministry. So I was just busy doing my thing. Then he was also busy serving the Lord.
Amen.
And then he saw me. Then he approached me, asked me out on a date, and so we went on our first date. It was amazing. I was literally really comfortable around him, and the same. And then from there, that was the rest is history. So actually now, after we went out, that was on a Thursday. On Sunday, he asked me out with the intention of marrying me. He was like, you know what? I want this for the long haul.
Right.
Can we do this? I was surprised, and of course I was also intrigued, because I knew this is a man who knows what he wants.
Right.
Yeah, so
Is that the same story? Because
Yeah,
I find
yes,
sometimes couples are like,
that's
not how I saw it.
that's the same story.
Yeah.
Though for me, I think I asked her out earlier than she thought I did.
So it's not the same story. That wasn't your first date.
So, but what I knew when I saw her, for me, I had this conviction, and I knew that she's the one. So when I was pursuing her and courting her, we were very clear that this is for the long haul.
Right.
And so we were careful to put the right foundation in our relationship, which has led to a very enjoyable marriage for us now.
Yeah, 5 years strong. That's beautiful. So what have you learned about communication? Because that's really one of the key pillars in any union.
First of all, the power of agreement. So we need to be on the same page. It's something we have worked on and we consistently continue to pursue, such that if there's something we want to pursue, we have to sit, talk about it, find clarity, and be on the same team. Actually, we usually say we are on the same team. If I'm fighting her, I'm fighting myself. So in terms of communication, we are on the same team. We try seek, clarity on issues, and we actually have another term for it. We call it oneness. So
Oneness.
yes,
Where
oneness.
did you guys come up with these terms and how? I think that's what I want to know.
Okay, so where we came up with these terms from.
Yeah.
So one of the things when we got married, we were very clear on, is we wanted a wonderful marriage. And despite what other people say, we knew marriage works. And we entered with the mentality of this is gonna work for us and we are going to enjoy it because I'm sleeping next to you for the rest of my life. I had better enjoy it.
Right.
So over time, we've learned to also engage in different spaces to learn more from people who've gone ahead of us. And so now these particular terms we're using, we have mentors. They've been married for 31 years. And they really teach us a lot, and they have different seminars where we get to learn. And so some of those terms we learn from them and also other forums.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So oneness, otherness, and also the fact that there's mentors in the space
Yes.
to help guide you. So I've got to ask you the same thing about the question about communication. What have you, Zilani, understood about communication that you think was only brought out in this union?
Just having first that understanding that we're on the same team. You know, when you're having conflict, if you look at the other person as your enemy, then you'll want to fight them. But if you look at this other person as a friend, and now in marriage it even goes higher because you're not only friends, but you're one. You understand? You're intertwined. So whenever we are talking, whenever we're communicating, we are looking at what will enhance the entire family. Where are we going? Then we have a purpose for our marriage. So of course, under the leadership of my husband, there's what we seek to achieve just beyond the two of us and of course children. What's the bigger purpose? Yeah. And so we've just learned to communicate, to put things on the table, and just be open. Communicate from the heart, and then of course being very respectful and coming from a place of love.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about conflict? Because that's another thing that, I mean, as long as there's two people in any room, there's two different minds and perspectives, and there's always going to be some kind of like disagreements or clashing. So what have you learned about that, and how do you navigate that, like a space of conflict, or
For us, like any other couple, there are fights and there are conflicts. So one of the key things we try to achieve is reduce the time in terms of conflict resolution. So if it used to take, a week, right now, take a day, make consistent progress towards no conflict zone. You see? So our goal actually is, as we continue to grow in marriage, there'll be no conflict. Okay, so how we've managed to navigate that is we have date nights. So it's spaces where we are real, like she can allow me, just speak my heart and not feel judged, so that she understands where I'm coming from. So we have conversations, deep conversations, where we've created a space where we will not judge each other, but whatever is shared within that space, will be for the good, and it's like feedback for us to improve on our marriage.
Okay.
And then maybe also to add, whenever we have conflict, I think through our interactions and through the years, we've learned to isolate the issue from the both of us. So what we do, like we take the issue, this is the issue. Now let's be plain and blank and just point out the issue, not say you did this to me or I did this to you. So the issue is there. So look at it from an impartial place. And if it was any other person, what's the best way to handle this situation?
That's so interesting. If I didn't know better, I'd think that you had a conversation with the couple that was here before, because they said almost the exact same thing. I was like, wait a second.
Wow.
Have y'all been talking? Is there like something that was happening before? But no, they were not talking before. But it really speaks to how true that must be, that you really need to separate the issue from the person. So it's not about attacking them, it's about figuring this out. But I'm going to ask you the same question I asked them, which is, in that moment, it can be so difficult to really be like, you dared to talk to me like that, So what did you do to get to that space? What did you have to let go of, or to bring into you and your spirit in order for you to be that version? Because that's really the tricky part.
Marriage actually is God's idea, and so for us, for you when you are a manufacturer, usually you have an instruction booklet on how to operate the machine. So marriage is God's intention. So we have a blueprint on how to operate on our marriage, and one of the best examples actually for us to paint a best picture is Christ. You see, Christ loved the church and he died for it. So as a man, I'm the one who is instructed to love. And so loving means I die to self. So it means as a man I have to offer leadership, and I have to be the one who puts down the selfishness, so that for her sake. So I'm selfless. And so when I take that approach, every time I found whenever I do that, I get more benefits than if I was hard-headed and I said that things have to go my way.
Right. Okay. So how you have a 3-month-old, right? New parents. How has that changed the game? Has it changed anything? Is everything still the same, or has it just thrown something different into the mix?
Okay, so of course, with the new child, there's been adjustments. And then one of the things I'd say we've learned over the years, and that has really worked for us, is the power of agreement. Yeah, so whenever we get into whichever space we are getting into, we agree beforehand, this is how it's gonna go. Yeah, so during our pregnancy journey and just having our child, we had agreement. We were like, this is how it's gonna go. So we said, first, I won't have morning sickness. I won't have...
What do you mean?
I never had morning sickness.
Wait, but you said that you won't have?
Yes. There's power in agreement, yeah? And there's power in conviction. So we had that conviction and we said, this is how it's gonna go. Yeah?
But I have questions about...
Yeah. You can ask.
So now, but... And it really,
Yes.
You said I'm not going to have more.
She actually, and it's me as a man understanding the authority that God has given me. What I've noticed is everything I speak over her, she's actually my reflection, and everything I speak over her, it manifests. So when you got pregnant, one of the things we said is she will not have morning sickness. She will not experience all those things. She will not have labor in childbirth, and everything happened.
Right. You know why I'm laughing? Is because I'm so mad that I didn't hear this before I got pregnant, because maybe that would have worked for me. I had everything you're talking about, like morning sickness. And I'm just like, wait a second. But I do believe that there is power in the mind, that the mind really has that power. And that a lot of times we just don't look to harness it. Interesting. Oh, beautiful. So I guess you're already speaking to existence, how this child will bring you closer together more than anything.
And we are seeing everything you're speaking come to manifestation.
Really, so it starts with here. You decide, you focus. Exactly. And you try and harness that power.
And then on top of that, you see children they're a joy, they're a blessing. So we just said, you know what, this joy, this blessing won't come to disrupt our lives in a bad way. They'll come to enhance our lives. So we had that understanding and we said, you know what, she'll be a joy. Yeah, we love her, we'll affirm her, and she'll be a joy to be around. And then we actually said she'll be sleeping.
And it's happening. You were saying before, you were telling me before we started filming that she sleeps sound throughout the night. That's beautiful. So my last question to you would be, how does love show up for you? What is love? How would you describe it? What have you learned about it in the 5 years of marriage?
Love is actually, what we described earlier as otherness. So for me, it is to kill selfishness and be more selfless towards her. And so when I do that, I have more benefits in my marriage. The level of conflicts goes down, and she actually feels the love from me.
Right. Wow. Right. Yeah. Zilani's like, wow, I did good with this one. Yeah, I did good. Okay. What about you, Zilani?
For me, I'll just say love. First of all, love is not a feeling. Yeah, love is a decision. And I'll just go back to 1 Corinthians 13. Whenever I think of love, that's what I think about. Yeah, love is patient, love is kind, it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, all that, which he summed up very well as otherness. So in an instance whereby I say, actually now we are more reflective. I'm actually more reflective. When I tell my husband I love you, do I really mean it? Do I mean that I'm patient with you? If I need him to do for me something right now, will I be patient? So if I'm not patient, then do I really love him? Yeah. Am I kind to him? When probably I'm just in a certain space and he comes talk to me, am I kind? If I'm not kind, why? Am I operating from selfishness, or am I thinking about him? Yeah, am I self-seeking when I come up with an idea? Is it just about me, or am I thinking about his interest?
I hear you. So it really is about deciding in every moment to do what's best for him. It's really a decision, not just that giddy.
Yes.
Ooh, I hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been incredible getting a sneak peek into your marriage. I wish you all the best with the little one.
Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And who knows, maybe like in another 5-10 years, it would be interesting to see how it's been with more children. If it worked with this, I don't know if you're planning on having more children, but if you do and you decide you're not having morning sickness, I want to know it worked again. It worked again.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us women would love to know that you can decide.
Yeah.
Not to go through that. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We have to take a break, but we have one more couple lined up for you, and you do not want to miss this. We'll be back in a moment.